There is nothing like it anywhere, and I mean anywhere else in the world. All-Star festivities at its finest. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan here with my partners Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Next up is the three-point contest for tonight. One NBA sharpshooter will add his name to a trophy that contains a who's who of the best long-range bombers in league history.
And as with all the All-Star festivities, the three-point contest is about having fun, a good time. But still, that doesn't mean the competitive juices won't be flowing.
Now, no question, Clark, these guys are in it to win it. There's a lot of pride on the line when you're up against your peers like this, but I do feel that the guys who perform the best are the ones who relax and just enjoy the experience.
So here's Q now. He'll have 60 seconds to get off 25 shots from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and with each make counted as 1 point, except the last ball of each rack, which counts for 2.
Yeah, that's the money ball, Clark. And those shots are usually the ones that end up deciding this contest.
That's 2. Gets the money ball. 5 points now. Now with 6.
Pretty good start there for him.
9 points. He's got 10. And he's made all 3 money balls. Good for 13. He's at 14. He comes away with 4 points on that wrap.
Nice finish. Well done.
17 on the board. Finishes his last rack with plenty of time to spare. The round ends, and he's got 19. Now that's how you do it. Outstanding focus throughout the round.
Yeah, it was a terrific start. He was feeling it from the get-go. One way to ensure success in this event, as we've learned, Steve, is by hitting those money balls. Those give you a nice jolt of momentum.
Yeah, that's really the key. I mean, if you can knock down all 5 money balls, you really don't even have to shoot a high percentage, and you can still come out on top.
He's got 5, 6.
Respectable start here.
Now 9 points. 10 points on the board. 2 racks to go. That's 13. 1 rack left. He's at 14. Hits for 15. A total of 17 points that he'll take away from that round. I'd say he handled that round pretty well, guys.
Well, we all know how important the money balls are in this event, and he hit 4 out of 5 of them. That's very good work. And guys, one of the cardinal sins of the three-point contest is a player trying to change his stroke after a bad rack or 2. It won't work.
Well, it's tempting to do so, Clark, but trying to make adjustments during a 60-second span sometimes is tough. People tend to overthink things. This is really more about finding your stroke early and then not thinking about anything.
Gets the money ball. Seven points. Can't get the money ball. That's 4 misses in a row. That's 5 in a row. He better get it together.
Getting ugly in here.
That's 7 consecutive misses now. He needs an adjustment.
Starting to freeze up a bit.
7 points was the best he could do. Boy, I bet he wants a do-over on that performance.
Well, when you have a stretch where you miss 8 in a row, I mean, you're leaving so many points out there, and there's almost no way to recapture your momentum at that point. You lose confidence.
And so it'll be Stephen Curry.
Your memory has to be very short in this format, like less than a second. You have to put every miss right behind you. Forget about it.
Yeah, because 1 miss can easily turn into 2 and then 3. And then you start racing because you're worried about the clock, and before you know it, you're pretty much out of it.
And a slow start.
4 more points to stay alive. More points to stay in contention. He's got 5, 6.
One more to stay alive.
He's up to 7.
That gets him into the third hole and books him a place in the finals.
Curry really catching fire now. He's in the zone.
12 for him. He's got 12 points to show for his efforts there. That's far below what he's capable of doing when he's on his game.
Well, we kept waiting for that point where he'd get hot and rattle off a few in a row, but it just never came.
Here we go with Damian Lillard. He's got to have at least 12 to avoid getting knocked out. The door left open here. He's in good shape.
He's starting to heat up now.
Nearly perfect there. Just one miss on the rack. He needs 6 more points. That's 7. Now 8 points.
And a decent start here, guys.
He needs 3 more points.
10 points on the board. That shot ties him for 3rd. Now in 3rd. A 3-point rack for him right there.
A strong closeout there.
He's got 16.
And with that, he reaches the 2nd place score.
He finishes off the round with 19 points. His stroke looked terrific in that round, guys.
That's a well-earned and well-deserved score. He found his rhythm, and he kept his rhythm.
Yeah, and given the look on his face throughout that round, guys, I'd say he's taking this contest very seriously.
And so we'll see LeBron James. He knows exactly what score will get him into the next round.
Well, like they say, Steve, and it's true, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So it's essential that a player keeps a fast pace and gets to all 25 balls before the buzzer.
Yeah, and it's really a balance, Clark, because you can't race through them either. If you do, you're going to fall out of your rhythm. So it's a fine line between being focused and being quick, and you've got to find that balance.
5 points more to stay in it.
That's 13.
3 good racks in a row, shooting the ball well.
1 more to move on.
It's moving up. That gets him into a 3rd place tie.
Just 2 points there. He won't be happy with that. That moves him to 3rd.
That equals the best score of this round, Kevin.
He finishes off the round with 19 points. Boy, he looked great out there, didn't he?
Well, the way he closed out the round was the most important and the most impressive thing. I mean, he just caught fire at the right time and really turned in an impressive performance.
Higgins has got the best score in the qualifying round, guys. I'll bet he's excited for the finals.
The performances all around have been off the charts today, Steve. This has been a true shootout.
No question. We got a great 3-point contest on our hands this year, guys.
So here's Cooney. He had the lowest score of all the qualifiers, so he goes first. Let's see if he can kick it up a few notches.
A hot start is pretty essential, isn't it, Steve? I mean, it seems like we rarely see guys recover from a bad first rack or two.
I think the key is that first money ball, Clark. Even if you miss a couple early, if you can make that money ball on the first rack, get a couple points under your belt, then all of a sudden you can settle down and start firing away.
That's 5 in a row. He better get it together. That gives him 12. One last rack remains. Good for 13. He's at 14. Now to 15. He comes away with a total of 15 points. He turned in a pretty good round right there, don't you think?
There were a few ups and downs, but overall it turned out to be a fairly decent round.
Yeah, I'd give him kind of a B+ for that one. You hope for more, but it probably lived up to a reasonable expectation for him.
Here we go with Damian Lillard.
You can be sure of this. Whether it's an exhibition or not, the pressure to perform is still pretty great in the 3-point shootout.
Oh, make no mistake. I mean, these guys are competitive. They got a lot of pride. They want to win. But they've got to stay cool and controlled while they're out there. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, 8 more points for him to tie it up. Now 9 points. He racks down, 2 to go. 5 more points to tie it up. 11 points.
Yeah, now he's got it.
That's 4 in a row now.
Finishing strong. 1 more for the tie.
Hits for 15. Got it, taking the lead in his final round. He will be the one to beat.
And that's a great position to be in, partner.
Well, he's really feeling good right now. A ton of confidence.
So he ends up at 17. Well, a very respectable performance from him there, guys.
Well, the key was he was consistent, Kevin. He didn't really get too hot, but he never got cold. I mean, that's important. You've just got to continue to shoot through the ups and downs.
So here's LeBron now. We've reached the climax. He's got one last shot to go home with the trophy.
I'll tell you one thing. If a player doesn't get into a rhythm and start stringing shots together, it's over quickly.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, but what's so important is that, you just can't waste any time. But you've got to get into a groove early and then keep your momentum going and just rattle off one shot after the next.
If he misses more than two, it's over.
That's 3 racks in a row now that have given him fits.
Well, I think, yeah, that's it. He's done.
Yep, he can't make it up in these last few shots, Kevin.
Well, thanks for coming. We will see you next year.
He's sitting at just 9 points as the round comes to an end. Well, I didn't expect that score to be as low as it was. What about you guys?
Yeah, he might not get an invite back for next year's contest after that showing.
Well, one bad round doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be here, but there's no question, watching that performance, he did not look suited to the format of this contest.
And that brings the 3-point contest to a close. Coming out on top of the kind of field we had here tonight says so much about our champion this year.
What a commando performance by our champion. Once he got rolling, the only question was, who's getting second?
Yeah, to paraphrase Larry Bird way back, who's going to get second? That's exactly right. And I'll tell you what, Clark, he deserves all the credit in the world. To come out on top against a field like that, that's sensational.
And the drama, the excitement, this year's 3-point contest had it all. And it was our pleasure to bring it to you. For myself, Kevin Harlan, and my partners, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, thank you, everyone, and good night.